Yeah, I did. We had a good conversation about that, and I told him, hey, as long as you're feeling well, you've. I know he was pretty sore. He'll be even more sore today, but as long as you're feeling well and we're ready to roll on Wednesday, he's our starter.
Okay. And then just a few defensive things. We asked Kendall Fuller basically about that touchdown that Robert Woods had and what was supposed to happen with him and Landon Collins. Just what were you seeing out there with that situation? Like what was supposed to happen defensively there?
Well, we were in our cover two coverage, and Landon was the half defender. Kyle was the Kendall was excuse me Kendall was the flat defender. He was supposed to jam and widen. He did widen him, and it looked like Landon had a bad angle. He made the break, but I thought his break was a little bit fat. I'd like to see him climb a little bit more on that break, and that's what it looked like to me.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it.
Heidi.
Ron, have you had a chance to talk with Alex, and how did he feel coming out of the game? And did you see what you expected or wanted to see out of him?
I did. I had an opportunity afterwards. Spent a little bit of time with him in the locker room, and he felt good. I was pleased. I was excited for him. He went out and had a good time. It would have been a lot better if we could have protected a little bit more. But I thought he handled it well. I thought he made some good decisions. He made quick decisions, got the ball out of his hands. It was tough. You're playing from behind, and the other team knows it. They changed their approach, and that's tough. And I thought he handled it very well. And we'll see how he is. He's going to be sore, but I bet it's going to be a good kind of sore.
Thanks.
All right.
Hey, Ron, we saw Brandon Sheriff working off to the side last week, and I think it's 3 weeks. The minimum are up. Do you expect him to practice this week at all?
Well, we'll see. I think he had I think he's had a good couple of days last week, and we'll see how he is today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and we'll make a determination as we get into the week.
And then just with your overall offense performance in general, when you made the quarterback switch last week, you kind of wanted to see that jump. Obviously, the yardage wasn't there, but were there areas you identified that you saw the quarterback change, like affect?
Well, I saw it. I thought the scoring drive that Kyle led us on was good. I thought he made good decisions. He delivered a good ball for the most part. And then unfortunately, the next time he had a little drive going, he got knocked out of the game. But again, it's what we're looking for. He managed it well, and we'll see how things go if he's healthy and ready to roll on Wednesday, and see how it goes this week.
Hey, Ron, to follow up on the offensive struggles, particularly in the second half, you stated the previous week that part of the reason for making the quarterback change was making that run for the NFC East title. You started Kyle Allen in part for that. Then at halftime, when he's given the medical clearance, you stay with Alex and stayed with him even through the offensive struggles. I guess you mentioned the being cautious with the injury, but how does that kind of factor in the cautious of injury versus making that run for the NFC East, as you had stated?
Because I think Alex is a very more than capable quarterback. I really do. And again, it was a very difficult set of circumstances to be put into. To be playing from behind when you're playing a very aggressive, good defense, especially one led by Aaron Donald. I mean, to me, that's the tough part. And I don't know how much different it would have been if I had gone back to Kyle, but I didn't want to see Kyle take another shot like that. So again, that's why I made my decision to go the direction I did.
And you stated last night that you would believe that Kyle would start this upcoming game. Is that still a play in your mind?
As of now, yes. Unless I'm told anything different come Wednesday morning, that's the way I look at it.
Thank you.
Hey, Ron, with some time to think about it and maybe watch the tape, do you guys think you did a good enough job trying to establish the run either in the first half or in the second half? I know some of it is game and score dictated, but they had come in struggling to stop the run, and I think you only ran 12 natural times.
Yeah, well, it's difficult when you get behind. We had some struggles on the defensive side, I mean, if you look at the flow of the game and look at the way the game was, it's hard to establish the run when you can't you can't get a foothold going when you you're behind. I mean, it's difficult, and that's exactly what happened, in my opinion. I mean, I don't disagree with the way the game was called for us. We struggled because of the situation.
Heather, if Heather's not on, we can move to Les.
Hey, Ron. I was wondering about the conditions of yesterday with the rain and all, and with what the Rams defense was doing. How much could you assess Alex's escapability? Or, I mean, and with the rust and everything too, is that really a good game to judge that, where he is with that?
Yeah, I thought it was, just because you saw some pretty good movement. You saw him get away a couple of times, get into position. It was hard. It was, again, go back to if you watched, I just got done watching the tape too, and you watch the things that they did and the situation we were in. It's very difficult to have success in that type of situation.
Is that more important right now, his escapability or the taking the hit? Which one did you want to see more? Were they both things you wanted to see?
I think they're both things that were good to see. I didn't want to see it, but they were good things to see.
Thanks.
Darren.
Hey, Ron. I'm just wondering, what's your vision for Dwayne Haskins this season or in the future with the team?
Well, I see him, doing what he did on Friday. I know Wednesday and Thursday were difficult days for him. I get that, but Friday he came in, was attentive in the meetings, did a nice job coming out to practice, did his mimicking in terms of standing back, watching, going through some of his actions, watching the plays. That's what I expect for him to continue to learn and grow. And, as we continue to get into this and we get further down the road, who knows what's going to happen. But, that's what's the expectation. This is no different than the expectation for any other player. And that's to be in the meetings, learning, studying, being out at practice, learning, studying, participating. That's what I expect of all of our players.
Hey, Ron, when you guys got down versus the Eagles, you told us that you liked there was no bickering on the sideline. You liked that mindset. Where's the collective team's mindset now after 4 straight pretty rough losses? Disappointed. I mean, but let's look at who we lost to. Everybody we lost to has a winning record. So we're playing good football teams, and that's the big thing. And that's what we're working to be, is one of those kind of teams. I think there was huge disappointment because we had some opportunities. Defensively, we had some third downs that we didn't stop them on, and the players know that. Offensively, we had some plays that we didn't quite make and we didn't convert. That's the disappointment. We didn't play up front as well as we would like to offensively. So there's some things that we have to get worked on. We have to get shored up, and we got to get better at. But again, the disappointment is that we didn't play as better. And that is, to me, a positive because the players know that. And as for your evaluation at free safety, has anything changed after watching the film? Where do you expect to go with that position? Well, I'll sit down and talk with the defensive coaches and see how they feel and the direction they want to go with that.
Hey, Ron, Scott Abraham, ABC7. You've had some time to kind of digest the significance of Alex Smith playing in a football game again. Obviously, basically his comeback story is now complete from what happened to finally getting back into a game. What does that do, I guess, from an inspirational standpoint? I mean, big picture here. I mean, this is like Hollywood type stuff of, Alex getting back into a football game. And what does that do for you personally? Because you have a personal fight of your own, and maybe you can draw strength from him completing his comeback story in a way. Well, I think it's a pretty cool thing. I really do, and I'm happy for him that he got the opportunity to go out there and do it. And I'm also glad to see that he's capable of doing it because he gives us another viable option at quarterback. And for anybody that's struggling with anything in life, that's a great example. You look at a guy like Alex, and you look at what he's gone through over the last couple of years, and not just for him, but for his family. I thought that was really cool to see his wife and his kids cheering the way they did. I wish we could have given them more to cheer about, and I wish we could have played better as a football team.
Ron, you've talked a couple times about your frustration on third downs on defense, and I know they were getting some third and medium, third and short yesterday. The numbers, I guess you guys are technically a top 10 defense in terms of average yards that the offense has faced and conversion percentage you're allowing. I wonder, what specifically on third down that is frustrating you, and maybe you're not seeing the progress that you'd like. Well, again, to me, it's when you have something,
you have a job to do your job, understand what your job is. And that seems to be a little bit of the problem right now, is that some guys don't understand how to play with leverage. By that we mean knowing where your help is. If your help is inside, then you should play your guy outside to in. If your help is outside, then you should play it from inside to out. And sometimes it looks like we're not where we need to be. And that's the frustrating part, because it's something that I see the coaches working on. I see it's something that the players are practicing, but we've got to take what we're being taught, what we're doing, and transfer that from the practice field to the game field and go out and execute. And then from our perspective as coaches, we got to take a look at what we're calling and say, okay, is what we're doing the best thing? Are we giving them an opportunity to be successful? Because we have to look at it too and say, maybe we can't do those things. Maybe we need to do something different. And that's all part of the evaluation that we will go through. We'll self-scout. We'll look at those things and say, you know what, maybe we're better off just with this. So we've got some work to do, obviously. And it's not going to be easy. I didn't expect us to come in, but again, we've got 3 more games left in this quarter. These 3 games, I think, are games that we have to take the approach that we can win. We got to play them one at a time and see what happens.
And you talked about, wanting to see that leverage from the safeties and the linebackers specifically yesterday. And obviously we know that you're evaluating free safety, but in other positions across those 2 groups, do you feel like, you just need improved consistency, or would you like to see maybe more competition at those positions in practice?
I'd like to see a little bit more of that. I don't mind seeing the competition, because I think it makes everybody better, but I do also want to see consistency in our play. We've done some really good things. We make some plays, but we don't sustain our success. We get them into a 3rd and long, and we have a chance to come downhill and make a break on a ball. And it was a terrific break, but we got there early. And unfortunately, we got a penalty, and it was a 1st down. I mean, if we get there early, we should make a play on the ball. And if we make the play on the ball, they're punting. So again, those are the types of things that we've got to be able to be better at, because we have to sustain the success. You stop them on 1st down, you get them into a 2nd and long. Now all of a sudden this 3rd and long, we don't convert. That's not sustained success. That's not consistency. And we've got to get better at that on both sides of the ball.
Thank you.
Hey, Ron, I'm curious with Kyle Allen, was there a play in his time that jumped out to you for whatever reason that you just said, that's kind of what we're looking for, the way he handled the situation or a play?
Well, you can say the scramble for the touchdown was one of those plays, but I'm trying to remember exactly the play, but he stood tall in the pocket and delivered a really good throw through the middle for a conversion. And that's what you're looking for. And that's what you want. And he did a good job at that. But again, to me, you could say the scramble for the touchdown, because again, he saw man coverage. Okay. He saw the defenders had their backs turned, and he knew it was an opportunity to tuck the ball and run. And that was a good decision on his part.
2 more.
On the 4th and 1 early in the game, obviously a very defensible decision to punt it. Probably caught some of us off guard because of your reputation and having previously this season chosen to go for it in those situations. Can you break that one down for us?
It was a long 4th and 1. If it had been a little bit inside, and we could have gone for it. It was right around the 40-yard line. I did think about it. That's why I asked him to measure it so I could see it. And it was a little bit longer than I appreciated. I did go for it on another 4th and 1, and obviously it was incomplete. So, it's those situations where you look at it and and I don't know, it was a little bit longer than I would have appreciated.
Got time for 1 more.
If David's not on, I've got another one.
Sure. Go ahead, Mike.
Just with Kyle yesterday, it was reported as an arm injury. Was he given the concussion test? Was there concern of that?
From my understanding, they actually, they actually did check him just to make sure, just to be careful.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you all.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you.